It's Monday, May 19th, 2025. I am Atul Pearl. It is time to get in the weeds. Jeremy Lambert is here, as he always is. A marvelous Monday, more so because happy Toronto Maple Leafs Elimination Day. Decades of mediocrity running through this town, and I love it because I live here, but I'm not a Leafs fan, Jeremy. It's very well established. People who are Leafs fans are giant ass losers, losing millions of dollars when they want to bet on the team. Come on. Leafs fans, get off the bandwagon. Lose the money. Tell MLSE that they don't deserve the thousands of dollars for those seats because there's decades of mediocrity and the Shanna plan is garbage. And this is not a sports it's not a sports contest, but this people, it's not, sorry, I said contest. I meant to say podcast. It's not a sports podcast, but what this is an intervention for any Leafs fans out there or anyone who likes a mediocre sports team that charges way too much for the mediocrity they get. Don't do it. Don't let them do it. You're wasting your time and your money.
I'm not going to be mean to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm
coward.
Like everyone knows my sports fandoms. I don't like when people are mean about my teams. If this was like the regular season and or all my teams, if my team got eliminated yesterday, then I definitely would have no right to speak. But I feel bad for Toronto fans, man. Like they always field a pretty competitive team and they just can't get over. Like I think it kind of sucks. I've equated the Thunder to the Maple Leafs, so
bad call. Your Thunder won a game 7.
We did. Look, I was miserable yesterday. I was very concerned yesterday that we would not win the game 7. We won in very convincing fashion, which was nice. It made things far less stressful throughout the day, or at least the afternoon into the evening. But I feel bad for Leafs fans, man. Like, I got no room to talk. Like, I know the Avs won the cup a few years ago, but like we can't get out of the second round either. So I don't know. Like, I you can say I've gone soft. I don't think I've actually like. Have I gone soft? I don't think it's that. I don't talk shit. Like, sorry for cursing 3 minutes in. I don't talk trash to other sports teams because I don't like when people do it to me. I take it too serious for that. So I don't talk trash on other teams because we're all suffering. We're all just suffering, man.
How much are tickets to a Thunder game? I mean, you don't live in Oklahoma City. Are they cheap?
Dude, the get-in price for Game 7, which is like the biggest game in OKC history for almost a decade, was legitimately $200-something, which is very inexpensive. Yeah, they're cheap.
You can find last-second puck has dropped Toronto Maple Leaf tickets in the top bowl for $150 to $200. Keep in mind what I just said. The puck has dropped. The game has begun. You are going to get in there and you're going to miss the first 12 minutes getting to your seat, doing the deal, so on and so forth. That's getting in after the game has started. We need to offload these tickets right now. If you want to get in this, and by the way, that's regular season. Maybe you get a scalper that's just desperate. But other than that, you got a playoff game, man, game over. You're spending thousands for nothing. Spending thousands for mediocrity. I've sat in that building in various places. Beautiful building. It's really nice. Shout out to the people who upkeep the building. Not MLSE, everyone else. Nice building. However, watching hockey in that game, in that place, every time I've gone, garbage. Well, I'm not a Leafs fan, so the time that they won was garbage, but the times that they lost, best times in the world. Saw them play Phoenix once. Phoenix won. Best time of my life. Tickets were free too. But other than that, you spend way too much.
You spend way too much to do in it. Oh, SP3's calling me out that I talk trash about the Lakers in the draft lottery. I mean, kind of fair. I didn't talk trash when they lost, though. Like, I didn't say anything when they lost in the first round. I praised Minnesota. I only did the draft lottery thing because I thought that was a funny bit.
Yeah, that's fun.
SP3. I'm sorry if I told you how you were feeling. That was a Tito Ortiz bit. Let me tell you how you're feeling. One of the greatest light heavyweights on the night.
Shout out to the belated birthday boy SP3.
Yeah. I was really happy to see. I mean, I knew he said it on the show that he had the interviews with the LFG winners, and I was very happy to read those interviews and see those. And yeah, I think you mentioned it on socials, but I mentioned it as well. Of like, if anybody should be interviewing the LFG competitors, it's SP3.
Yeah, literally. When they bring out the numbers for that show and the rating is 1, the 1 is SP3.
They do
fine. It's fine.
Yeah, they do okay. Like
when we were at Mania and they did the panel at WWE World, like there were a lot of people there just kind of taking it in, and seems like people knew what the show was about while we were sitting there. So it's it was a fine show. I didn't watch much of it. I saw the clips, and I think it achieved what it was setting out to do. But it's we'll see what next season brings.
It's a weird show in that.
I think it depends on the perspective.
So Tyra May Steele, spoil it.
Go ahead.
But Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy were the winners. And Tyra May Steele is like already wrestled for Level Up and live events. And same with Jasper Troy too. Like they've already wrestled. It's like, oh, they earned a contract. Like, oh, they've been under contract. It's just it's a weird gimmick. Like at least with the original Tough Enough, like they hadn't wrestled in WWE. Like no one knew who Maven was before he was on Tough Enough. Like these people are already part of like the NXT NIL program, and they've already wrestled on a television show that no longer exists. The one guy's in
Evolve
in Dark State. Dark State.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like some of these people are already on TV and stuff. So it's like I think the concept is good. I like reality shows, and like wrestling reality shows are fun, but it's just it's a weird dynamic and almost disconnect of if you follow this stuff, you already know that some of these people are on TV or have had matches and stuff. They're not really starting from scratch. Like they've been around for. Tyra May Steele made her debut like over a year ago. Like she's been in the system for a while. I like it. It's fine. Like it's a good show, and I think Tyra May Steele was the easy winner to call. The men's side was a little bit tougher to call, but it was good. And now we'll see what season 2 brings.
So Jules in the chat saying it a little more roughly than I would, saying, the show is for rubes that don't know or care. And like there's a bit of truth to that. And I mean this as like you can position it because they did it in the way that you're talking about, where they had NXT Level Up and then they got rid of it to pivot to LFG. Now that Level Up's gone, it's either Evolve or LFG. That seems to be what they're trying to recreate their pipeline as. So LFG is for the college talent NIL people that got signed and have not been on TV in a featured role moving forward. I'm not talking now. I think that's what they want it to be, is that it's the college NIL athletes moving forward where they're competing for an NXT contract, even though they have one, so they can position it as you have an NIL deal now, but this will give you an actual like NXT television contract and you'll make more money, blah, blah, blah. And then Evolve is the other side. It's the ID talent, and it's the idea that these are wrestlers who are, staking their claims into wrestling on NXT and so on and so forth. But they have to, moving forward, make that the way that it is. Otherwise, otherwise you're just doing this poorly. And I think that's kind of the problem, is that it's a reality show that is already like we already know what's going on, but we need to have been paying attention.
Yeah,
it'll change.
I imagine most people who watch it, I don't know, like it does. It feels like it's kind of for the hardcores of if you watch it, like you you kind of know. This doesn't feel like a show of. It's not like Total Divas, where it's just like casual people are watching to see what's going on. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the only reason I push back is because the show's on A&E, right?
Yeah.
And A&E is not exactly a show that I gravitate to, or a channel that I gravitate towards on a regular basis. I also don't have cable, so I have that going for me. But like if I'm just like flipping channels, I'm not really going to A&E unless there's like a House Hunters marathon. But like for you, if you're a wrestling fan and you're like, oh, I got to watch A&E tonight, then I don't think you're the wrestling fan that we normally cater to in our conversation.
I don't know. Like it's not like it does like millions of viewers. What did the last episode do? Hold on.
I don't think it's going to do millions. I think it's just that
it does like a
different show.
This was February, so the premiere did 160. The last episode, or at least one of the reasons, the most recent episode did 71,000 viewers. Like,
actually not that bad considering it's A&E.
No, I'm not like it's fine, but it doesn't feel like casuals are just kind of watching this. It feels like, I mean, when it premieres to 160 and then it went up to 209 and then it's dropped off to 71, like they've lost a lot of viewership throughout the course of the season.
Common for wrestling though. That
yes.
You'll lose, you'll have a hot start and then you'll just kind of peter off for a bit.
Right. But my point is it feels like the hardcores are kind of watching this. So the hardcores probably know a Tyra May Steele's been in the system. Cutler James is on NXT and is part of Dark State. All these people have been in the system for a while. So then it just becomes of, can you make an entertaining show? And there were certainly like times where the show was entertaining. I just don't think it's for let's capture a new audience and introduce the world to these people. I think they're kind of already known to this.
That's fair. And SB3's in the chat saying LFG is definitely for wrestling fans more than casuals. It helped people grow connection to PC recruits that they otherwise would have never got to know. And I think that's a really good point to make, is that you do get to meet some of these people. Well, gearing towards the hardcores, right? You do get to meet some of these people who you may not have got to see in NXT as quickly, or at least as it's a different way of presenting them in their own spotlight on their own show. But
now, like, you've got to actually do something with that. I know Undertaker and Bully were on episodes of NXT, and they did that hilarious segment where they have Tyra and Xena Sterling standing there, and here comes 9-foot giant Lash Legend to tower over all of them. And then the women pop up from behind the bar. One of the greatest segments of all time. Like, I know there's, like, they did that. But now we've actually got to like get Tyra on TV. Like I'd honestly have them wrestle on the Battleground pre-show this weekend. Like I would have Tyra and Jasper Troy on that Battleground pre-show, and at least do something with them and show like, yeah, they won LFG. You just saw them last week winning LFG. Now here they are. Battleground pre-show wrestling. Maybe they win. I don't know. Depends on what their actual plans are. But you can't just like, hey, they won the show, and then we don't see them. Like we don't see them for a month or two until, hey, remember that they won LFG 2 months ago, and now we're gonna finally use them. Like the wrestling landscape moves too fast to where you should probably just go ahead and capitalize on this while you got the chance.
You have two choices. I mean, you have more than two choices, but in this case, you can put them, one of them or both of them, on this week's NXT the week before Battleground and set something up, or you can start something the week after in hope that you can capture the post Battleground whatever you've got. So I would personally prefer they promote that they won on Tuesday and then the following Tuesday, or even you can do something at Battleground in a backstager, but like start building them
I
post
love their
Battleground.
backstagers.
Oh, they love them. Have everyone just pop up from the background and be like, yeah, I'm next for the LFG talent. Just one by one, they just keep popping in the frame. But no, I would do something after the show or after Battleground that starts putting these LFG talent on TV properly, or at least the winners.
What do they do for like season 2? Because ain't like a lot of these people. I don't know when season 2 is like actually going to air. I think they said that when they did the press release of like deadline, it's like, oh, it's been picked up for a new season. But like a lot of these people are still just going to be in the system, but not on NXT. We're just going to get repeated people on the show. Like we got to find 20 new people from the Performance Center. They got a bunch of people in the Performance Center. It's like now we got to find 20 new people for this show.
They've got Hikuleo. Put him on this show.
That would actually be amazing if they just had.
One of you is a professional wrestler for the last 15 years. The rest of you are brand new. You've got to find out which one's the pro and which one's the Joe. Damn it, we've done this before.
They should have
SPT, by the way, says the finale confirms Cena and Shiloh are going to be part of season 2.
Why?
So is this like you get a second chance thing? Because otherwise, all these other losers need to be like, I'm not stopping until I get my position.
It's just the same people. It's like, let's see how much you've improved over time. I know SP3 is super excited for BJ Ray, the West Coast sexy American gangster. BJ Ray. I'm sure I screwed up that nickname. He's super excited for BJ Ray to come in there for season 2 and show how much he's improved.
Just shit talk everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of shit talking, leave a thumbs up on the video. 17 minutes in talking about LFG. Clearly, you should be leaving a thumbs up. This is what In the Weeds is. This is what we do. It's nothing but talking about the weirdest stuff in the world. The West Coast gangster, sexy BJ Ray.
I was close. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said the West Coast American gangster. I gave him the Chael Sonnen name there. That was close.
And subscribe to the channel because you should. Because you are all West Coast American gangsters in my heart. Yeah. And you're extra gangster if you leave yourself a super chat. Any amount of question or statement read on the air. It guides the conversation. If you don't like LFG, well, guess what? Your money can guide us elsewhere. Go ahead. Try us.
I would love LFG as the challenge where they actually just like beat people and did like a limit. Like, who cares about wrestling skill and stuff? Like, that's stupid. Just go full on challenge with it. Just go full on challenge with it.
Bob says a super chat saying Vanilla Fumble is what we call when we talk LFG without SP3 on the show. Chat doesn't count. It's a valid point. I thought we were just going to leave that to tomorrow.
Vanilla, baby.
Thank you. I thought we were going to leave that for tomorrow when SP3 is on the show.
Yeah, we'll talk more about LFG. We're going to kill off our entire viewership for LFG.
Just air the interviews.
I think those are property of Sports Illustrated Media, so I
don't think really
we can air those interviews.
Nah, we can get it whitelisted just for this.
Okay.
Can we have as we move on, because there's going to be more conversation about LFG later on. So remember the King of Lucas trademark?
Yeah.
So you were able to update
Lucas King.
Yes, the Lucas King. You were able to update and put out an article that they've also recently trademarked King of the Luchadors. Are we under the impression that this is the fix-it for the King of the Lucas?
Probably. I do hope that like they reference this, though. I hope they do something. Like they filed the trademark. Just use it. Just put out be King of the Lucas. I should have a character called Lucas King, the King of the Lucas, and should make fun of. I know it's spelled differently, but Luca Crucifiano, that one's not spelled differently. Luka Doncic, just be like, yeah, I'm the king of all of the Lucas. They should just do that gimmick. Who cares?
King of the Luchadors.
Lexus needs something.
Lexus needs a brother. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
King of the Luchadors should just be its own PLE. It should be instead of King of the Ring, you do King of the Luchadors. None of this. This is Vikingo's new nickname. No. You give them the proper moniker and tournament that they deserve.
And Phoenix wins. Phoenix wins?
Why not?
Okay.
Give me something.
They're just gonna have Gable win. Like that's true. That's all they love this gimmick with Chad Gable. They absolutely love it. They're just like, here's old, I couldn't think of his name. El Grande Americano. Look at him. King of the Luchadors.
You couldn't remember your own coffee gimmick, your own coffee order? Still, this is make Omos the king of the
That would actually rule.
Put him under the mask. It'd be fantastic.
He wore the ninja mask with Tozawa.
He did. You could revise the character, revise it. He can be the king of the Luchadors.
That would actually rule.
Can you do a flip?
You don't need to do a flip. Quit pigeonholing luchadors into flippy wrestlers.
That's true. LA Park, La Parka will also benefit from this.
Chad Gable should do this thing. Lucas Luchador. And Lucha that's Omos's Lucha Lucas. Yeah. Lucha Lucas. And Chad Gable is talking about like, I got this brand new luchador. He's the biggest luchador in the world. He's the most physically imposing luchador in the world. This man, he's been all over training the dark arts of lucha. And let me tell you, if you thought Vikingo, you got to use AAA names they can actually like say on TV. Because I was gonna use like Mystico, but they can't say him. If you thought Vikingo and Penta and Phoenix and La Parka and Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera were actually great luchadors, no, this man puts them all to shame. Let me introduce you to Lucas Luchador. And it's Omos in a mask. That would rule.
I'm all about it.
Now it's not Micro Man, because that's too on the nose with the bit. Like Micro Man's actually like a good luchador for a mini. Omos would just be hilarious. All them dudes doing like flippy stuff, and Omos just swats them down. Like, what is this?
And then
he does like a forward roll. Can Omos do like a forward roll?
He can. I don't know about his. I don't know about that Parker guy. Remember him? I called him Parker forward roll.
Yeah, Omos does like a forward roll, and that's like his one big like flip. He like teases doing a dive. He like runs. Who would always do that? The gimmick of he would do a dive and then like no, just kidding. Ha ha ha. He does that. He runs and he's like and he stops short, and he steps over the top rope, jumps down onto the ringside area, and then just like falls on top of the dude. Crash Holly. There you go. That's what Omos does as his dive. Just step over the top rope and just falls on top of the guy.
It's perfect.
Lucas Luchador. That's his new gimmick. This rules.
I'm a big fan of this.
This is what I would do with Satnam Singh in Ring of Hallucinations.
By the way, you know that Parker's still wrestling apparently?
Yeah, he's part of like Fourth Rope.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's doing UPW.
Okay.
He did it this past weekend. Faced Big Con. My God. Former TNA super duper star. He did Gleets. Gleets. He was on a BLP show last year.
Yeah, he did the BLP like combine gimmick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I muted that name a long time ago. That's probably why I hadn't seen it. Anyway, I hope his forward rolls have gotten rollier. We made fun of the Leafs at the top of the show, Lawrence.
Joel made fun of the Leafs. I tried to be sympathetic.
Yeah, it's just a bad idea. Being sympathetic to Leafs fans. You got Andrew Baydala being like, don't throw this jerseys on the ice. Well, then don't have a shitty team that's not worth the money.
That is, I don't understand people who did that.
They have more money than they know what to deal with, Jeremy. They're upset. Like, they can spend another $200 next season.
Like, you know, when like people like burn their jerseys and everything. Like, I don't get people who do that. I waterboarded a jersey once. It was a Kevin Durant jersey. There's video. It wasn't a jersey. It was a jersey because I don't buy jerseys of like players unless they're retired because I'm always just afraid they're going to like leave. So I don't really want I don't want to spend money. Like imagine if I bought a Kevin Durant Thunder jersey. I wouldn't know what to do with that thing. So anyway, I got a jersey for Kevin Durant though. That was a gift. And after he left, fuck Kevin Durant, I waterboarded it. Cause you know, that's like, you're not really ruining it. You're just like drowning it in water and pouring water on it and stuff.
Yeah, you can dry that out.
Yeah, like burning a jersey is insane to me. Like, how do you take a jersey that costs like $100 and just burn it? That's just, I don't know. It seems wasteful.
One of my first cruise ship gigs was on the Pacific Rim. So we were doing China and Japan and Thailand, all that. When we went to China, we went to, where did we go to? Oh my God, basically one of the cities with the fake markets that I completely can't remember right now. But while we were there, I found some fantastic fake NHL jerseys, like with the fight straps and everything. So I bought a few of them and they are up to par. And my dad said, like, you know, there's a possibility that these are like legit jerseys because where are they all getting made? And I'm like, that is a very good point. They may have just fallen off the proverbial truck. But yeah, man, just spending that much money just to throw it away. They already have your money. Someone else in the chat mentioned it. Like, they've already got your money. So what do you care?
Yeah.
You know what you do? You really want to get
Sell
back at the Leafs? You turn around and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. You get your $150 back, whatever it is. Try and get the money back. Try and get it signed if you can, so you can make a little extra. But man, don't throw them on the ice is one thing. Don't burn them is another thing. Don't get rid of them. You've already, like, you're just throwing your own money away. You've already done it once.
I respect them throwing it on the ice, actually. I feel like that's a better use of it than burning it because, you know, people get like hat tricks and you throw your hat on the ice. That's why I don't wear a hat to a game that I'm not willing to part with, potentially. I get a lot of hats. You know, I would not wear my 2022 Stanley Cup champion Avs hat to a game. I'd wear my regular Avs hat that if by chance there was a hat trick, I'd be willing to part with that. But I would not be willing to part with my Stanley Cup champion hat. So like the generic hat is like whatever, like $20. Okay. How often am I going to see a hat trick at a game? Willing to part with that one. And so this is why I don't mind like throwing the jersey on the ice. It's still a waste because it's way more than $20, but at least it's a little more respectable than just burning it. Burning it, it feels like you're just like looking for attention online. Throwing it on the ice, it's just like millions of people watching. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it's all dumb.
Oh, that's fair, Ryan, if you refuse to throw your hat. Like, yeah. I understand that as well. I've seen a hat trick live. I wasn't wearing a hat, though. I think Jeff Skinner got a hat trick for the Hurricanes when I was there.
By the way, with Shenzhen, China, that's where the fake market was. Yeah. Right. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not a hat thrower for two reasons. One, I think whenever I've seen a hat trick, I've been sitting up in like the upper bowl. I'm like, it's not going to make it all the way down there.
Not with that attitude.
Someone else going to get a free hat. I don't want it like that. I want the hat trickian to get that hat. Not some random dude or dudette. Come on.
Oh, Louis getting blocked. They're in timeout.
Wow, that's upsetting. What did he say?
He's mentioning a hurtful name.
Don't do that, Louis. Shout out to Louis
Still,
for sending that video in the Discord, though.
It's still painful, Louis. Until the season is over, it's going to be painful. And even then, it might still be painful.
It's okay. I believe in you. You'll be okay. So on and so forth.
By season, I mean their season, because our season is over, thanks to him.
Where shall we go now? Should we talk about Nattie and the NWA?
Nobody saw the match.
Well, because they're not airing it yet. They only take.
I don't understand their business practices.
The NWA, not good.
Yeah.
I just told you what it is. Not good. It's on X. It's on Twitter. That's
allegedly.
their business. First of all, I felt a little bad because early in the weekend it was announced that Gail Kim was unable to make the show. That sucked because they were building her up as as the special guest referee, and clearly she was going to have a part in the entire match itself and do some stuff. But unfortunately, she was sick with COVID-like symptoms, so she decided better to be safe than sorry. I always appreciate someone who knows their health is worth keeping their germs to themselves, as they say. But no, Nattie worked the match against Kenzie Page at the NWA show, the Crockett Cup show, and listen, the more important thing that people saw was after the match when she punched a guy, but a guy. I'm going to use air quotes because it was it was a plant. But anyway, good times for Nattie.
Maybe at some point we'll all be able to watch it.
Like 6 months from now, and Jensen will tell us when because he's the only one who watches it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll
I can't comment on the match. I didn't see the match. No one saw the match unless you were in the building.
Was anyone in the building watching our show? Tell us. Were you there?
People were there.
Well, I don't know if anyone who watches our show was there because we don't speak very nicely about the NWA at times.
Malcolm was there.
Go call Muscle Man Malcolm. Get him on the phone. Have him call into this show. This is a call-in show, right?
I mean, it can be.
I could rig up a phone thing here, but we'd have to get a phone number and then have to. We wouldn't have anyone to field the calls, to screen the calls, and I feel like that's something important that we should have.
That would go very poorly.
Yeah, we would need. I tried that once on college radio, and it didn't go so well. Doing a call-in show about wrestling, people were not. Nope, just did not happen. Did not work well. Let's get Nattie. Get Nattie on the show. She can talk to us about the match. It'd be great.
That'd be fun. Yeah. They're kind of cowardly for not putting the title on her, honestly.
I kind of wanted them to, but then I thought, then what? What's she gonna do? Show up to WWE with it, and then by the time it airs, she will have already dropped it, so it won't matter.
Nah, they'd keep her on her. They'd keep it on her the whole time.
Shit, she'd be the longest reigning NWA Women's Champion just by virtue of taping schedules.
Nah, Camille held that thing for 2 years. Kenzie Page is coming up on 2 years on that thing. So
that's insane.
They don't switch those titles at all.
Now, is that tape time or airtime numbers?
Airtime.
That's
no tape
tape time. Okay.
Live, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. From the time they had it in the ring to the time they dropped it in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Camille held the title. Hold on. It was long as hell. It was 812 days.
She held it through COVID, right?
Yeah. No. Well, after
TR came in before COVID, I thought. Sorry, I thought Thunder Rosa had it and then she dropped it. I thought it was during COVID.
She dropped it to Serena Deeb.
Deeb, right? Okay.
Dude, since they revitalized the title in 2019, actually even before that, it was vacant for 5 days. Do you know the shortest reign for the NWA Women's Championship since 2011?
No.
I know you don't, because who would know this?
Who would know this?
Trivia? 273 days. That is the shortest reign, people. 273 days since 2011.
That's just one PWG cycle.
Camille had it for 812 days. Kenzie Page has had it for 631 days. She's had it forever.
All right.
She's coming up on 2 years with this thing. August 27th will be 2 years.
And
They
probably
don't change these titles.
the next time they
the
tape,
world,
it's probably going to be August.
The world title, the NWA 70, whatever it is this year, is at the end of August.
Wasn't it 76?
Maybe they're up to 80. No, I feel like they're almost up to 80, honestly. Oh, it's 77.
77, because 76 was in Philly. That was a whole thing. So where are they doing 77? New Orleans?
I don't know. They haven't announced it, I don't think.
No, that seems bad.
They just don't switch these titles. The world title's the same thing. They like to do these long ass reigns. Tom Lattimore's probably had this thing for like 8 months. No one knows, but he has.
Yeah, Tom Lattimore's had this thing for a very long time.
He's had 261 days.
Yeah, I see this. He won it at
They
the
just
75th anniversary show.
They just don't do short reigns.
Well, they also just don't do many shows right now because they batch tape like mad.
They batch tape, but they do like their pay-per-view every 4 months, give or take. Like they do Hard Times, they do the anniversary show, they do Crockett Cup, they do San Wow Wow Wow. And
well, hold on. Didn't they stop airing those shows live? And now they just
tape them and they air them as multiple parts on Power.
Okay. So I'm not crazy then.
No,
they haven't
aired shows live, and honestly, the cocaine show might have been the last live one.
I think it was the last one.
That's the last one I can remember anyway.
Yeah, like I can't think of what. Then that was what 2023.
Yeah.
I'm so curious now. I don't even know what to look up at this point. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. Oh, that's that.
Now, well, they're on this new like Roku channel gimmick.
They got a Roku channel?
They're launching, like Paramount's launching this new like wrestling channel. It's got NWA and WOW on it. It's part of the Roku channel.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if like stuff is airing. I'll say that again.
Jesus Christ, it's the 3 a.m. and nothing's on channel.
I don't know if like stuff is airing live. They just said like, oh, NWA and WOW are featured. I don't know what that actually means. So, but that's a thing if people maybe want to find a new way into your NWA fandom.
SP3's in the chat confirming the Coke Spot was the last live show.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's right.
They said, yeah, no more lives. Amazing. Yeah, TNA is a 24/7 Tubi channel. I do know about that. They got a Pluto channel, don't they? Or is Pluto Tubi the same thing now?
I have no idea.
Regardless, it's hilarious to me the way that the NWA doesn't work. Like, yeah, the NWA has a worse taping schedule than TNA. You can watch TNA. It's true. You could eventually watch TNA. I think the TNA, I give them shit for some of their taping practices, but at least compared to the NWA, like they're like Monday Night Raw live every week compared to the NWA is TNA's taping schedule. It's very strange.
I should get the NWA pencil.
You should.
Yeah, ROH won't give it to me, cowards. NWA, I feel like I got like a shot. I wouldn't want that though, because many reasons. But the taping schedule would be too annoying to me. Like, I don't want to batch tape all this stuff. These ideas are too great to just live on Twitter. That sounds terrible.
So instead you do what? NWA would stand for National Wrestling Anus? I don't know. What would you call it?
What?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything, so I went with
clearly
not wrestling anymore.
National Wrestling Anus. What are you doing, Joel?
I don't know. I got a lot of things.
What are you doing?
I got nothing here. I got a lot of things and nothing simultaneously.
I would rebrand it. I wouldn't use the NWA name because I don't think the NWA name has any value.
Wow, Billy would fire you just for that comment alone.
Probably. I just don't think it has any value. No one's like searching
most
for
of
the
us
NWA.
You reviewed TNA actuals right there.
Just an anus.
Because when you get the opportunity to use anus, you use anus.
At least use ass.
No, we use scientific words here, Jeremy.
No, I would rebrand it to ROH, Ring of Hallucinations, and fight Tony Khan on the trademark.
Tony would give it to you at that point.
I would rebrand it. I don't want to use the NWA name. I would even say it of like, I want to protect the sanctity of the NWA, even though that's a lie. I'd have Tom Lattimore do the Shane Douglas and just like throw the title down.
They can all kiss my ass.
Yeah. Like, this is no longer NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. This is the CWA, the Cocaine Wrestling Alliance.
Father James Mitchell comes out.
Hell yeah, he does.
Throwing white powder into the audience.
Yep.
So I see the vision.
Oh, there we go. National Wrestling Acid Trip. That's good.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It's just the imagery in my head of Father James Mitchell just throwing like a flower girl, just bags of cocaine into the audience.
Hell yeah. It's exactly what I'd do with James Mitchell. I'd have him sing some karaoke too, because he's like actually good at that. He's a big time karaoke singer.
He is. What was the song that he sang? It wasn't My Way, because that was what's his face? That was Pat.
He sings a Cannonball. Or Panama?
Panama. I think it was Panama.
Yeah.
James Mitchell karaoke song.
Yeah, he sings Panama. I don't know.
Oh, no, that's not going to work. Oh, there we go. He used to host karaoke.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't say what his song is on his wiki.
Nah, I've heard him sing that actually. Not like live or anything, but I've heard him sing that. Yeah, this is what I would do with the NWA. Just throw the title down, rebrand. They got like 1 million titles in that company too. They got like
keep adding them. It's ridiculous.
They got like the middleweight and then the junior heavyweight and like 3 versions of tag team titles for some reason. And then the women's tag team titles. I got like 5 different women's titles. Like, I don't know who any of these champions are, except
they have 10 active champions.
That's a lie. They got more than 10. I refuse to believe it's only 10.
Cage Match says 10, and they have 100 inactive titles.
I mean, that's because they count like all the territories.
Yeah, some of those are territories. Yes.
Yeah, I can't like count that.
So according to Cage Match, they have the Mid America Heavyweight Championship. Very mid is right. The National Heavyweight Championship, the U.S. Tag, the Junior Heavyweight, the World Tag, the World Television, the World Women's Championship, World Women's Tag Championship, World Women's Television Championship, and the World Heavyweight Championship. Worlds with an S, which, by the way, is still the dumbest thing you could possibly do. There's only one world. This is not the champion of many worlds. Whatever. It's like universal. Anyway. Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't mind the worlds with the S. It's not apostrophe S.
No, it's not. It should be the world's champion with apostrophe S because it belongs to the world. It would be the Daniel Bryan recyclable title. It should be made of recyclable materials and it should belong to the world.
Okay.
Regardless, 10 active championships in the NWA according to Cage Match.
Which, if you think about it, it doesn't seem like it's a lot because WWE and AEW have just as many, right?
It's true.
Like, they got a shit ton of titles.
Here's the difference: the NWA is a 6-month show that runs. They run every 6 months, and they have basically everyone who's in there, on their roster is a champion.
Yeah, that is the biggest difference. Is AEW has 2 shows. WWE has 3 brands. NWA has 1 45-minute show that airs 6 months later on X. You don't need 10 titles.
No.
I would do away with all of these titles.
Let's say get down to get 7 out of there. Have just 3.
No.
What? Women's, worlds, and tag.
I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to put stock into the tag division like all these other companies try to do, but then they do it poorly. I'm not doing tag team matches. I mean, I'll do tag team matches, but there's going to be no tag team titles. You're fighting for drugs and money. That's actually what we're not doing championships. That's what everybody's fighting for. Drugs and money.
Ryan Lambert, the new championship is a burnt spoon.
They come out and they just got like, they're just like carrying backpacks. Some people got like garbage bags and stuff. It's like, I got $20,000 in here. And this is another guy comes out and he's like, yeah, I got $10,000, but I also got 5 kilos. It's like, oh shit, he's got more. And then that's what's on the line. The 5 kilos are on the line. And that's how we determine like who the top person in the company is, whoever's got the most drugs and money. You can win stuff through tag team matches. You can win in triple threat matches. You can win in trios matches, whatever. No titles. Just whoever's got the most drugs and money. That's the top. That's the top of the food chain there. We have a gambler as well. We're taking that idea from Ring of Hallucinations, but he's gonna be like gambling all the drugs and money. He's gonna be hard up for times. Yeah, Amsterdam, baby. And that's how out of a god awful idea that I can't say on air.
Oh no, I'm afraid to ask. Let's just leave it at that.
People are gonna do some unspeakable things to get more drugs and money.
Oh no, I think I know where you're going. Let's leave it at that.
We're getting kicked off X with this.
That's a hefty plan. I'm all about it. Well, if nothing else, you can always get kicked off, Max. Actually, you know what? We're not going to go to Collision yet. Let's talk about the main topic. Darby Allin has made it, baby. He's done it. Top of the world. At least Mount Everest. Darby made it to the top of Mount Everest. The report came out Sunday morning. Good for him. Did it with a team of Sherpas, some of whom were quite experienced. And one who had just done I think this was his second summit. So a good team around him. And Darby makes it to the top. The big question was always, did he plant the flag? Did he do it? This morning, the photo came out from Darby socials. He did, in fact, take the flag out of the bag and hold it with all of the people he went to the top with. Don't know if he was able to stake it into the ground. I doubt that, because it's just not something that people are okay with. So instead, he held it out and took a photo, because that's the next best thing you can do. And I doubt that they had time to post a very heartfelt social media video about how he's coming after Jon Moxley in the AEW World Title, but it's implied. It's implied that's what he should have taken the AEW flag out of a Halliburton and just been like symbolism. Anyway, Darby Allin makes it to the top. Congratulations to him. Now what?
Now he comes down.
Nah, he stays.
Live up there. What do you mean? Now what?
He's gonna set up a shack. He's gonna build. He's gonna build a house.
Good on Darby for saying he was gonna do this shit, not being able to do it last year because of a broken foot, and then coming back, doing it this year. I know people are, gonna be mad, like, oh, he derailed the title program and all this stuff. To book something different. Then this was not a secret that he was going to climb Mount Everest. They gave you a year heads up on this. Darby did more than that, because Darby was saying this in October of like 2023. He's like, yeah, I'm going to climb Everest in 2024. And then it didn't happen. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to do it in 2025. Everyone knew he was going to do this. So what they booked is not his fault. They didn't have to book it the way they did. This is what they chose to do. Good on Darby for following through his plan, making it to the top. Seems like he had a good time doing it. He survived. That's the main thing. And now he's going to come down. He's going to return. And it's not going to shock me if this man just appears at All In at the end, and Jon Moxley is still the world champion, and people are going to be very mad that Jon Moxley does not lose the title to Hangman or Will Ospreay, but Darby's getting that title at some point this year, and taking it off Moxley makes the most sense.
Jeremy, what match is happening at Double or Nothing in the main event?
Anarchy in the Arena.
When does Anarchy in the Arena typically happen in the AEW calendar?
This weekend.
Yeah, Double or Nothing weekend.
Yes.
Does Tony Khan do very well when it comes to pivoting?
Not typically.
I'm talking like the big, and people in the chat are just like, he does this, he does that. Yeah, I get it. He's not Sting. The point is, you're welcome. Instead, what he gets is he can pivot the little things, but he doesn't do the big pivots sometimes. Often, quite frankly. It's not a knock at Tony. This is just like history showing us that this is how he does. And of course, every time this happens, I post the GIF, the tradition GIF, the Fiddler on the Roof GIF. That's what it is. Tradition.
What is... Okay, where are you getting at here?
My point is he's not going to pivot past the original reporting and the original thought process that Darby was going to climb the mountain, come back, and win the world title. And also, the storyline was he got written off by the Death Riders. Did Darby Allin when he got pushed down the stairs at the end of Rampage. Show that everybody watched and is still around to this day. But the point of all this is that Darby's going to come back and get a modicum of revenge as the AEW guy who literally went to the top of a mountain, flew the flag, and now says, I'm the guy who flies the flag for AEW, not you, and I'm going to take back AEW, and I'm going to take back the World Championship, and I'm going to be the guy to take it out of the stupid briefcase and show the world what this title looks like. And when he takes it out, it's going to be just IOU receipts. we're still on that bit. You bet.
Okay, what was your point of Double or Nothing? That's where you confused me here.
Oh no, my point was that Tony doesn't pivot away from doing things like the same way.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I thought you were trying to get it like Darby's gonna be at Double or Nothing. I was like, no, I don't think so.
I don't breathe. What is breathing's for suckers?
Breathe with the switchblade.
I did a pretty good job of doing that entire thing without taking a big breath, so you're welcome for that. Breath control today, pretty okay.
I don't think Darby's gonna be Double or Nothing for those who think that he is. Like, he still has to come down the mountain. It's not like he's coffin dropping off of it.
I've got another really bad joke that I wanted to make, but I have not been making about his descent down the mountain.
I just say Tony's like sending the private chopper up there to get him so he could come to Double or Nothing, but it's still going to take him a little bit to come down the mountain when he comes. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Jon Moxley retains in the main event of All In, and then here comes Darby to confront him, and then Darby is the next challenger, and they go with Darby as the champion. I think it upset a lot of people because everyone wanted this reign to end, months ago at this point. And if they're gonna have him beat Ospreay or Hangman, that's a tough sell. People love Darby, but that's a tough sell beating Ospreay or Hangman.
Yep. I get the idea that people are saying, Ospreay winning the title is obvious. I don't think it's obvious at all. I don't think it's obvious at all when Ospreay goes into any story what's going to happen.
I'm not super sold that Ospreay is going to win the Owen. I think it's there, but it's a 50-50 match to me. I don't feel great about either one of them winning. Obviously, one of them has to win, but like I can't for certain say like, oh yeah, Ospreay is definitely winning this, or Hangman is definitely winning this. And Hangman is such a just connection and such a pull with the crowd that sometimes it feels foolish not to go further with it. Look, I've said this for a very long time that Hangman should be the guy you're building around. I don't know but I don't feel great that he's gonna win this match, but I don't feel great that Ospreay is gonna win this match either. It could go either way to me.
The question that usually comes afterwards is, what does the loser do moving forward? what match do they have going into All In?
Well, so this is where they've set up the Hangman and Swerve stuff over the past couple of months that they've kind of gone away from. And you do Hangman and Swerve against the Bucks. That's where I think people are more sold on Ospreay, because Ospreay, he looks a little bit more lost, and I use that term very loosely, but he doesn't have something that they'd been setting up prior to the Owen, where they were setting something up with Hangman prior to the Owen.
I do wonder who Ospreay could face.
You put him in there with anybody.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? He could go up against anybody. Maybe the Gabe Kidd thing goes through All In as well. You know, Gabe's a part of Double or Nothing. Maybe Ospreay gets it to Gabe Kidd. I know people have mentioned, you know, Ospreay Kidd had Forbidden Door for the title because it's in the UK, so on and so forth. One represents AEW, one represents New Japan Pro Wrestling. You could do that. We don't know what Jay White's status is. That's another thing that we're waiting to hear more about. But yeah, Ospreay does have a lot of options, but something that he can, I don't know. I have we seen an Ospreay story, and maybe I'm just not thinking about it, you know, long term. Have we seen an Ospreay story that has started and grown throughout his time in AEW, or has it mostly been Ospreay gets a match that people really want to see and they build to it in the pay-per-view cycle and that's it? Other than Kyle Fletcher. I think Fletcher was really the only one that's kind of built over time in AEW. You know,
the MJF stuff.
Yeah, the Max stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm asking this just because I'm not thinking fully about, you know, Ospreay's time in AEW, because every time he has a match, it's a great match. And then sometimes I'm thinking about like, what were any of the long-term arcs that he's had? But MJF is a good shout. And Fletcher too, like I said, was another one that went multiple matches and had a build to it. Okay, cool. Yep. Not crazy then. So do it again. Ospreay, MJF, it all in.
I don't know if there's who's the. They still have the international title? Who holds that damn thing?
Kenny Omega, because they're working.
Oh, right.
The combination. Yeah, I don't worry. I had that thought to myself the other day. I was like, a lot of titles in this. Who holds the right? They wanted to find them.
I legitimately couldn't think like who held it. He's defended the thing once.
Yep.
It was the triple threat match.
Yep.
My bad, everybody. I couldn't remember. It's the Continental Champion. I know it's Okada just because Okada, like he's at least there and he has the title, and it's like a bit that he just doesn't defend the title, and anytime he does, it's I want the old Okada out there. Legitimately could not remember that Kenny Omega was the champion. My apologies to Kenny Omega. I feel bad now, but I really don't. They should maybe put a little bit more emphasis on that title.
Yeah, I kind of agree. But you've got, I mean, yeah, this was one of the reasons why we talked about it on Friday, why Okada not being part of Anarchy in the Arena is a good thing, on top of literally everything else we said. But having Kenny and Okada not be part of this match together makes a lot of sense. Having Kenny be a part of it, they found a reason by having him get the beat down in the cage. But for Okada to go and just do an a Continental Championship match against Speedball, that works. And I really do think now that will be the match before Anarchy in the Arena, so that they can do some sort of run-in for Speedball and Okada.
It's funny as hell that Kenny's only defended this title once.
You gotta keep him fresh. He's been through a lot. You saw what happens when you hit him in the diver tiki tum tum.
It's very funny that he's only had one title defense. What can you do?
It really was just the triple threat, hey?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
And since that, yeah, like he had the Blake Christian match that was non-title, and then he had the tag match. That's funny.
It should have been a title match for Blake Christian. Hey, I'm getting angry at these commentators on AEW. Getting angry. You know, I watched the Collision, or at least 90 minutes of it. And I watched my guy, Vanilla $1 million ratings, baby, Blake Christian. And they're like, Blake Christian has won 7 straight matches in ROH. I was like, you guys were touting this line a month ago when he faced Kenny Omega, that he's won 7 straight matches in ROH. Has he not wrestled on ROH again? Which I'm not sure that he has, honestly, because nobody watches that show. Who could possibly care? But even if he has, like, you beat him every time he comes on AEW TV. So, like, his 7 straight victories on ROH TV. By the way, he's not. Like, they taped the match, him and Gringo Loco, but that has not aired. So, no, he has not wrestled on ROH since the Kenny Omega match.
Wait, no, he did the tag match with Lee Johnson.
Yeah, but we're talking singles matches here.
You're talking singles. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Talk singles.
So, but like, you beat him every time he's on AEW TV. So his 7 straight victories on ROH TV don't exactly like hold a lot of weight when he just loses every time he's on AEW TV. It's just dumb to reference it. Like, he's won 7 straight matches on ROH. Watch him lose every week on AEW, but then go to ROH where he's actually winning. Like, yeah, but who cares that he wins these matches? Every time he faces someone noteworthy, he just loses on AEW television. My point is, Blake Christian should win more.
Agreed. And also, while you're at it, you should probably do a Steiner Math promo about how many wins he has in ROH versus how much it matters when he goes over to AEW and has a big time match. I think you can Steiner Math that. Make it make sense for the fans at home.
I don't think you can.
I mean, yes. but that's why we're here. So yeah. We don't see Darby at Double or Nothing. That's kind of your assessment.
Yeah, he's still in the mountain. He's not get down the mountain in less than a week.
Oh, it's easier to come down the mountain than it is to climb up. All you need to do is just
kind of skateboarding down this mountain. Like, he might.
He's got the board. He could do it.
Like, you still have to like make stops and everything and
not with that
rest your body.
No, just you get your board out and just hang 10, baby. I do wonder how long the descent is. How long is the descent from Everest? There we go. Done a lot of Everest Googling over the last little bit. 3 to 7 days. See, all he's got to do is just jump on a snowboard or a toboggan and just straight down.
He's got to recover afterward. You don't just do that and then it's like, let me jump right. I mean, fuck. You know what? The rules are out the window with Darby Allin. He does just come down the mountain and then just jumps back in a wrestling ring. He's Darby Allin.
He probably
fine. Let him show up Anarchy in the arena. At this point, I'm not going to doubt Darby Allin.
He's going to show up with like snow on his back.
Yeah.
I'm sure he probably Googled it. He probably like, how long does it take to get down? All the Sherpas were like, about a week. And he's like, it says here I could do 3 days. How do we do that one, boys? And he's like, well, you probably don't want to. I was like, well, yes, I do. And he's like, I got a show to come to. I got a show in Phoenix.
He shows up, Double or Nothing. He's got the flamethrower. And he's just looking for Jack Perry. He wants answers to where Jack Perry is as well.
He shows up in the scapegoat bus.
That would actually rule.
By the way, I have this because they keep showing Jack Perry like doing the forging metal stuff. I would love to see a video of Jack Perry doing a full scapegoat bus conversion into a beautiful tiny home, and he just drives around all day in it. They put him in like a nice like country boy outfit, and he's like, "This is my tiny house. Come and take a look. I saved all this money by living off the grid. I got a composting toilet, and I got a dog now." And he just drives from show to show in this brand new scapegoat house that he built. He could do it, and he would get off with it. It'd be perfect. And then Darby Allin would come and be his roommate. You guys want to go climb a mountain?
I miss you, Scapegoat. I hope you're doing well. Creating things with your own bare hands and all that fun stuff.
You think if Darby and Jack Perry teamed up, they'd be called the Scapegoats?
Why?
Because Darby likes to skate, and Jack Perry
scapegoats.
So I didn't enunciate scapegoats. Yeah, scapegoats.
You gotta put the emphasis on the T. Yeah, you gotta be like Kendrick. Kendrick puts real emphasis on all of his syllables when he raps. All right, I like that. I like scapegoats. I like that.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. The scapegoats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, don't boo that Xenoar. That's not bad. It's not bad.
You're welcome.
I think Jack Perry can skate.
I feel like he can.
Jack Perry does a lot of stuff. He makes metal. He creates his own titles. He does fire stunts and stuff. Jack Perry, it doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Everybody's like, oh, Darby's doing all. Look at Darby, so great. Jack Perry's doing stuff too, but no one's paying attention to the scapegoat, except for me. No one's jacking off with Jack, except for me.
They should be calling him a man called Jack. He does this. He does that.
He does Jack.
He does Jack. On some days he does Jack because he's having a bad mental health day and he just needs a break.
When Jack Perry returns, it's going to be the biggest pop. Jack Perry's return and Blake Christian's first victory in AEW. Or when they just get the rights to Lovin' On Me. I don't care if he actually wins or loses. Just get the rights to the song.
It's a low bar. You can do it. Who does Jack Perry face on his return?
Max Caster.
That's actually probable.
What happened to Anthony Bowens? Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still 5-tool in his player. Didn't he have a match like 2 weeks ago on Collision?
I feel bad for Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, well. Yeah, he had a match 2 weeks ago on Collision. He beat Lee Johnson. And the week before that, you can guess who, or I guess the month before that, you can guess who he beat. Yeah.
Just, that ain't really gone anywhere with old Bowens.
Have they considered
hanging out with Nicole Kidman? Bless him.
Maybe they should just get rid of Nicole Kidman. Maybe they should just get rid of Billy Gunn.
I mean, probably, but they just brought him back and didn't have a real plan for him outside of pride of pro wrestling and 5-tool player. What does that mean?
The 5 tools?
Yeah, what are the 5 tools of pro wrestling?
Hold on.
Can you name them?
Yeah, hold on. I have to look them up because I know I've done this before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on. He's said multiple times what they are. Chat's probably going to get there in a second. Okay. Oh, damn it. He's
partner, promo, punch in the face.
That's right. Okay, he is the perfect combination of power, athleticism, intelligence, the look, and the it factor.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the look and the it factor are two things that I would associate with 5-tool player.
I mean, all right, but that's important stuff in pro wrestling, though, because like in baseball, it's like hitting. But I think there's like hitting, like contact, and also like power, and then there's speed, fielding, and I don't know,
throwing.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So it's batting average, power hitting, speed, fielding, throwing.
Okay, so yeah, there's no it factor in baseball.
Yeah, hitting for average, hitting for power, hitting for average should be winning. This is what he should call it.
No, because you don't decide that.
I mean, it's wrestling. So one can assume that yes, you do.
You don't like decide that.
By the way, I like Louis better. Speed, strength, agility, technique, charisma. Those should be the ones that he goes with, but instead he goes with the 5 that I had to read off.
Yeah, that's probably better. Promo 5-star matches, selling move sets and charisma. 5-star matches, like that's not really like a 5. That's not like a tool. That's what does that mean? That's based
Henry,
on like one person's opinion.
Henry, this is ironic coming from you, by the way. This is the most WWE 5-tool player concept I have ever read. Just kidding. No, you're not. You mean this with every fiber of your being. Run with it. Big fed guy, that Henry.
What if like someone comes out and is like, I got 6 tools. I'm just better than you. It's like Chris Jericho, there's 1,001 holds. Somebody just was like, I got 6 tools. Who cares about your 5? All right, great. You got a screwdriver, a hammer, a drill, a level, and a mallet. That's kind of like a hammer. But I also have a wrench. And I'm gonna throw a wrench in your plans.
If only,
to be the first ever AEW World Champion.
It really sucks that no one ever came up with like an adult film star wrestler gimmick, because whoever did that could have said I'm a 1-tool player, and their 1 tool could have been, their dick. But no one's ever come up with that. So I guess someone else will have to do it sometime.
I'm gonna do a group called the Tools, and it's gonna be 5 tools. That's as far as I've gotten, but they're all gonna use the weapons with everything. So we're gonna have a wrench, we're gonna have a hammer, or have a screwdriver, a drill, and we're gonna go with a level. I feel like a level is more important than people think.
It's important. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So those are going to be the 5 tools. And they're going to be allowed to use these weapons in a match whenever they wrestle. That hammer person, that drill person, they're going to fuck some people up.
I'm going to get 5 people, and I'm just going to rename them Dodge, Duck, Dip, Dive, and Dodge.
They're all losing to the 5 tools.
Those are 5 tools.
No, those
and
are...
Tool does the theme music for the 5.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Like you Ruckus out here being like, as long as they don't get canceled this time.
Yeah, using the level to make sure someone's shoulders are to the mat.
That's so dumb. I love it.
When they're in the back, they're working on stuff. They're building stuff. They're building clubhouses.
I have a very important question now that I think about it, because I read someone in the chat with a weird theory. Where was Cody on Friday?
I don't think Cody was ever supposed to be there. It wasn't advertised.
I thought he was advertised specifically for that show.
Yeah, but what they put on like the WWE schedule thing isn't like what they're going to air on television. So they never advertised them for the television show.
Yeah, but he didn't even do a dark match, did he? He didn't appear at all.
No, well, card subject to change, brother.
Yeah, I guess so. Henry said they took him off the advertisement. Henry would know. He's a big WWE fan. I'd say he was Cameron Johnson.
Dude, Chris Jericho would love this gimmick, by the way, the 5-tool gimmick.
He would. He'd find his 5 tools. He'd find his 5 tools, and he'd use them all. He'd use them all as he always does. One could argue that the group that he had before, when he had the Jericho Appreciation Society, one could argue that those were his 5 tools.
He would be the master carpenter here. This would be his group, the Tools, Chris Jericho and the Tools. And it's a carpentry band. They play music as well, but they can only use their tools. So they're just like banging on a trash can with the hammer and the wrench. What's the it's just, there's some music where like it just sounds like a wrench cranking. Let's crank. R.I.P. Virgil.
Thank you.
It's just like it sounds like a wrench cranking. That's the beat. You know, some of the rap beats nowadays just sound like it's a bunch of just tools clanging together. I can't understand what's happening.
I mean, if you listen to Allentown by Billy Joel, there's a
who?
Yeah, Billy Joel.
Bad News Allentown.
Bad News Allentown by Big Billy Gunn Joel. So anyway, if you listen to the song, you can hear it's a wrench or a hammer hitting a big piece of iron because it's Allentown, Pennsylvania, which was a big iron city. It's supposed to be tied together.
Okay,
so it does exist.
Oh yeah, saw. That's another tool. That's the sixth tool. The saw.
So the song with the saw I was thinking of was for those who used to watch Home Improvement. There was an episode. Anyway,
that was good.
Nobody likes that guy anymore. Anyway, so in an episode of the show on Tool Time, they bring out a bunch of guys who are construction workers who have a band, and like their band is playing all the tools as instruments. So then they grunt as well because he loves that shit. So go back, you can find it.
All my best ideas are just from 90s sitcoms.
It's true. It's very true.
90s sitcoms rule, though. You know what I do? This is the whole inspiration for Ring of Hallucinations. It's just Jesse taking a bunch of drugs. That's all it is. We're so excited and we're so scared. That's the whole inspiration for Ring of Hallucinations or National Wrestling Acid Trip.
It's the acid trip part that always gets me. Oh, anyway, shall we move on from all this?
Oh, what? What else are we talking about?
Well, I figured, we can start talking about AEW Collision. It was a fine show. It was a great show. And sorry, it's over. And then there was SmackDown on Friday nights.
You should have played the music.
I didn't have access to the music because I don't.
You should just played other music.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Take two. It was a great show. It was a fine show, and it took an inordinate amount of time for me to scroll down to get the stupid music, so that just killed my time.
That song's gonna haunt me on Sunday because that's their song they play before the press conference.
No, they've changed it. They've changed it up.
Oh yeah, they changed it up, and it sounds like something that sounds like Shinsuke's theme.
It's like whatever the theme of the event is. They've had Ruckus doing themes for these shows lately. Yeah,
they should play Mina's theme. Like the theme that they're never going to use again. That should be the theme for the press con. Like get some type of use out of it, Just
do a stripped down version. Make an acoustic version of it, of the Mina theme.
It's already isn't already. Are there lyrics? I don't know.
Probably it's just Mina now.
Okay. All right. Well,
they should just use that.
They should just use that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Anyway, Collision was fine. It was just plagued with issues on both Triller and on the other one. Sorry, I'm trying to find the video from here. So if you were watching on Triller like I was, you were met with some weird.
Oh graphics. Yeah, that rules.
It was very strange. Like, what match is this? And then Double or Nothing. When is this show? It was very strange. I don't know.
It looks like someone just took like spray paint and was just spray painted
Bischoff over here. It was whatever. It was what it was. It was just a poor night for wrestling television that night. That and then TBS, pulling the show and Black Adam getting on the show. It was just like couldn't help but laugh.
It's very funny that Black Adam was the movie that played afterwards. It's like, let's take the movie The Rock is like least proud of and put that movie on. Yeah, Max was I I was watching it, and then all of a sudden the event had ended, and I get that friggin' theme, that song that just plays, that generic little song. I don't even know if it's a song, just tone that plays. And like I look up because like I thought it was just like the commercial break for like bit for this event will resume soon. And then it kept going and going and going, and I finally like looked up because I was working. And I was like, oh, it says this event has ended. What is happening? Why is this event ended? And then technical issues.
It was a very so I wasn't watching live. I need to tell everyone this. I was not watching live. I normally start the show, and it's fine. I usually start the show an hour later because I put my kid down and he's down by 8:00. And then I'm like, I just need like an hour to myself to not think about work stuff, not watch wrestling, whatever it is. And so I finish what I'm doing and I turn on Triller. It's 9:00. And I usually turn on my VPN first, and it gives me, because I put my VPN to somewhere in the UK, it tells me that the show isn't starting until like the local time there. But for some reason, this time it showed up as starting at 9:00, and I was like, that's got to be 9:00 according to this time zone I'm in, right? And no, I turn it on, and it's like Collision just started, and I'm like, I'm going to come back to this. So for some reason, yeah, Triller put it on an hour later than planned, and then there was the stuff going on with TBS. It was a very weird night for them. Don't understand why somebody screwed up. That's really what it comes down to. And the show was taped. The show was taped. It was just like that one episode that we saw where they were putting segments in out of order and putting in the slates with the cuts of the scenes, and it was not good. I don't know why this keeps happening.
I maintain they saw Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Bandito, and it's like too much ROH. We didn't pay for ROH. Nope, absolutely not. Where's Kenny Omega and this international championship that I don't think actually exists? What's going on there? Why are we getting the ROH tag team champions on this show? Nope. And they're just like, we're cutting it off. We're done. That's my theory that I'm sticking with.
I'm fine with that theory. I think that's an accurate theory.
They didn't pay for ROH, man. Despite Tony wanting them to get ROH, they're like, no. This is
maybe we can backdoor pilot it by having Collision episodes full of ROH talent.
Yeah.
We see what you're trying to do, Tony. Stop it. It's not a back. We don't have time for your backdoor shenanigans.
Do you want to bury Collision more? I know.
Why is Wheeler Yuta getting a tabletop entrance with red? Like the red thing is one thing, and we talked about that. Why does Wheeler Yuta get like this full-on produced entrance as a Death Rider, where like these tables, pardon my mic hitting, are stacked on top of each other? These tables are stacked on top of each other, and you got the red light, and he's getting like this 360 entrance. Why is this happening, Jeremy? From a production standpoint, why are the Death Riders getting a properly produced entrance when they are not good people against the AEW system?
Well, they held everybody hostage. They were like, we need a big entrance for old Yuta out here. I know that we just beat him in every match, and we act like we're going to do something with him, but then we don't. But we need a big entrance for him. So otherwise we're going to keep the title in the briefcase and you're never going to see it again. Like, shit, we got to give you this big entrance. We need to eventually see this title.
It's very strange. And then they had Powerhouse come out through the crowd, which has been normal. I don't mind that at all, actually. I like it when a baby does something different. Powerhouse. It's people saying because Juicy Yuta is a megastar, that's why. Look, man, I wish
they would do more than with Yuta.
Well, he's got to cut his hair first. He's got his Sam the Sheepdog haircut going on.
We need Yuta and Jack Perry on a spiritual adventure together.
They're going to Phoenix to do the chili. They could do the chili cook-off Simpsons episode together.
I've never seen that. I don't know what you're talking about.
People who watch that episode will get it. We're gonna miss the chili cook-off.
No, they should do like they go out to the desert together. You know, Jack Perry or Wheeler Yuta is like, I gotta I got to find myself. And then he goes to the old scapegoat bus, and he thinks that it's sitting abandoned somewhere in a parking lot in Arizona. And he's just walking around, and Jack Perry just steps out of the bus, and he's like, I didn't think anyone cared. And he's like, there's dozens of people on Fightful over books in the weeds who care.
There are dozens of us.
There are dozens of jack-offs, Jack. And then they drive out to the desert, and they do a bunch of peyote, and Phil Jackson's there, and he's telling them about the triangle offense and his adventures with peyote. And they're like, hell yeah, this is what we got to do when we're back in AEW. And then RVD shows up as well with a bunch of kratom. And he's like, you guys tried this stuff? I'm like, yeah, let's be on this. So they're just on peyote and kratom. Jack Perry, Wheeler Yuta, Phil Jackson, and RVD. I don't know what it leads to. You just leave the camera rolling, see what happens. You don't book anything like that. You get them there, and then you leave the rest up to them. Whatever happens after that happens.
It's like an episode of Ride Along.
Yeah, basically.
Why not?
This is called Peyote in the Desert. This is a new segment on Ring of Hallucinations with Jack Perry and Wheeler Yuta.
For all the episodes of Ring of Honor that went 4 hours and people gave them shit about this, you're about to introduce a 20-hour episode of Ring of Hallucinations.
Yeah, but this shit's good. This ain't wrestling. Oh, let's watch another squash match. Yeah, this is fun. No, let's watch Jack Perry and Wheeler Yuta take a bunch of peyote in the desert. That would rule.
Those review shows are going to be very special.
Well, they're going to be on a bunch of peyote too, I assume. So
one can only hope. Could you imagine the one dude who's like, I hate this show. This is not for me. By the way, I'm fully sober. I'm straight edge. And you're like, well, that explains that.
Yeah, you're right. This show is not for you, brother. This is not for you at all.
Go watch Hot Rod and review it on the Select instead. Sorry, it's not a shot. I was listening to it. It's funny. Oh man, chili cook-off episode of The Simpsons was the best.
I don't watch The Simpsons, Marky Dark,
because you ruined it.
So I don't think I guess it is the chili cook-off. Now I feel like that South Park episode. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. That's how I feel of pitching my ideas. Joel's just like, the Simpsons did it. Like, all right, Simpsons have done everything. It's been on air for 80 years now. I haven't seen a single episode. I don't know what happens there.
I give Ryan Lambert full credit. He is straight edge and will watch Ring of Hallucination, but that's because he supports our brand of nonsense. See what the peyote trips do to your psyche watching that sober.
Getting Phil Jackson would be a big coup for this brand.
It might actually put them over the top. Get them a deal with Tubi.
I don't know. Now we'll air on Honor Club. We'll get a big television deal once I get the pencil with all these ideas. Yeah, we're gonna get Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson would love to do this. He ain't doing anything else. Just, hey Phil, come to the desert, do some peyote with these wrestlers. It feels like, hell yeah, I'm in, brother.
Get half of the Leafs roster to come and join. They ain't got nothing to do.
I don't want to cast assertions that they are on any type of substances. Phil has admitted he does this shit. So.
We are merely inviting people to get a job. We're not telling them that they do this. No, we're putting it out there.
All right.
They're allowed. Phil Jackson versus Chris Jericho final battle.
Could you imagine that match?
Not good, but it'd be great at the same time.
Phil Jackson only coaches champions, so this is all going to lead to Jack Perry and Wheeler Yuta becoming the champions. And ROH titles are still going to exist. We're not going to have we're not going to have all the gimmicky titles that they have, but they're still going to exist in ROH. We're still going to have the We're gonna have some substance of honor.
There'll be substances, all right.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call one of the pure title is you gotta pass a drug test. You gotta pass a drug test to be able to challenge. So instead of like, the weight limits, it's the cruiserweight title. You gotta make sure you're less than 205 to challenge for this title. Now the pure title, you gotta make sure like you can pass a drug test to challenge for it.
Seems wrong. Oh god.
Now the unpure title is just every other title. We don't need to like quantify that.
Well, no, we cross it over to the National Wrestling Acid Trip, and that the unpure title goes there, or it's a pure title because it's purely something.
No titles in the National Wrestling Acid Trip.
Just the burnt spoon. That's right.
Yeah.
Cash, and what's in the black bag?
Just money, and drugs on that one. But the pure title, I do like whoever has the purest drugs. That one's not bad, but. No, we're gonna have the pure title is a complete gimmick title anyway. Like they don't actually use it for its intended purpose, which is to get like heel heat and everything. It's just, you're a pure champion. Okay, the rules are just different.
Trying to give Bobby Lashley a championship. I see what you're doing, Grace.
He has a title.
I'm trying to give him another one. He gets to defend it at Double or Nothing.
Allegedly.
The Hurt Syndicate are going to take on the Sons of Texas because, yeah.
Dude, Sammy Guevara is going to stick out so bad in that match.
It's true.
Like, Dustin's a big dude. Lashley's a monster. And Shelton's a big dude. And here's Sammy Guevara, just not a big dude. Dude, especially compared to those guys.
It's 3 former WWE guys. They're already they're big dudes.
Yeah.
And then Sammy, who's never been a WWE guy.
Yeah. They're putting Sammy's just gonna be poor Sammy. Now he's getting on TV. He's getting paid. He's doing fine.
Bobby's just gonna do this too. Sammy at one point.
That'd actually be hilarious.
They're gonna little bro him so bad in that match.
That's such a funny spot. I love when they don't do that spot. That's what Lucha Lucas is gonna do in all his matches. The luchadors are gonna try to run it, and Omos is just gonna put his hand out, and they're gonna try to like swing, and Omos is like, "What are you doing? Try your dumb flip now."
They also announced the stretcher match, Ricochet and Mark Briscoe.
I'm looking forward to that.
I am too. I just my only question is why a stretcher match? Like what's the impetus for this as the what do you call it? The stipulation.
What, say that again?
Why is it a stretcher match specifically? Neither man has been put in positions of being hurt by the other to the point where they've been on a stretcher or even knocked out to that point. I get Briscoe asked for it, but it's just how did we get to a stretcher match being the stipulation? What do
you mean?
It's not like either man has beat the other so badly that they couldn't get to their feet at one point. A stretcher is random as hell.
The problem is you're thinking it in too logical terms.
Yes, God forbid we do that.
This ain't a stretcher of I'm gonna hurt you so bad you're going to the hospital. This is a stretcher of you need to go in for a hair transplant. That's why you got to be put into the stretcher. That's what it is. Let's send him no. Send him to the hair transplant facility. They're going to send him to Turkey. That's where they're going on the stretcher at.
The stretcher gets loaded up into an airplane.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't get it.
I just explained it to you.
No, not that. It doesn't make sense. Loser goes to Turkey.
Yeah.
They should have just called it a loser goes to Turkey match. Should have called it the Turkey Bowl, in which
I'm sorry, you want him to lay out everything and spoon feed you like it's WWE?
No. Winner goes to Turkey. You open up a case and it's a turkey suit, and people are like, "Oh, I know what this means." It just felt like a stretcher match was like, okay, we're just doing a stretcher match. Okay.
I explained to you why they're doing a stretcher match.
Yeah, you did. They didn't.
Don't worry, they'll take this idea and they'll explain it.
They'll bring out a turkey sandwich. That's the best that you'll get.
I'm looking forward to this match. Should be really good. Mark Briscoe rules. Ricochet's been so fantastic in this character, so they're gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm sure the match will be good. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm looking forward to the match itself. I'm just curious about where we got to a stretcher match. At what point we got to a stretcher match. You did. You did. No one else has. No one else is giving me any modicum of storytelling the likes of that.
I will fill in everybody, and you know what? I'll quote tweet Tony Khan, so that way maybe he'll give me my credit.
Well, I doubt he'll do that. He won't even give you that song you want.
Cowardly, honestly. I've earned that song. I've earned it. Yeah, why is this a stretcher match? No one has been beat down. I'm Joel Pearl.
You answer the question, Sean.
Yeah. Why are y'all dressed the same? Y'all a team or something?
I went to a funeral yesterday, so please
to
respect. Please respect my all black look.
What's the question?
Why a stretcher match?
I don't know. Stretcher, I barely know her.
I explained why it's a stretcher match. The loser is going to be sent to the hair transplant facility, and they got to get him strapped in there. So that's why it's a stretcher match.
What are we even talking about? I forgot. I know it's for Double or Nothing.
Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. Watch the product that ends 30 minutes early.
Listen, I was busy getting Jeff Jarretted by Alex and Kate last night.
Oh, wow.
I got them to watch Hot Rod, and you would think that I had waterboarded Alex for 88 minutes.
Did he hate the movie?
Oh dude, I'm halfway through, and he is just... It's like Sean took a family member and threatened them. That's basically what this sounds like.
And just to be clear, they now have the longest video review in the history of Hot Rod. 2.5 hours. This clock.
It's longer than the movie.
I hate to select.
It's par for
the course. I hate when that happens.
That's par for the course for us.
Yes, like Alex hates Freddie or hates like stupid comedy. So I'm desperately trying to get him to review Freddie Got Fingered. Like,
he would definitely.
Like, I think that if I put that public on Fightful's YouTube, I think it'll do views. I mean, when me and Jimmy reviewed Abducted in Plain Sight, the documentary, it did very well. But like Alex reviewing Freddie Got Fingered would be great because I watched it and I was appalled. Like, and I love did love any type of humor like that. But then as I rewatched it recently, I was like, is he a genius? Because I kind of think he's a genius for making this movie. And Alex was like talking about the rules of comedy. I want him to talk about the rules of Freddie Got Fingered so badly.
Absurdist humor is lost on the man.
Yes, it is.
That's all it is.
Which is weird because, like, that's the review show for wrestling.
Yes.
It's an absurd humor. So, no, don't make them watch movie 43. That movie legitimately sucks.
It's just bad. Yeah. There's nothing entertaining about movie 43.
Yeah, that movie's just awful. There's no funny.
I couldn't
comedy.
believe it when I saw it.
Same. I was like, this just
with that cast.
Sucks. Yeah.
For the background of those of you who don't know about this cast, of which has kind of aged even better, but like it has everybody in it: Kristen Bell, Halle Berry, Leslie Bibb, Kate Bosworth, Gerard Butler, Anna Faris, Richard Gere, Hugh Jackman, Johnny Knoxville, Justin Long, McLovin, Chloe Grace Moretz, Chris Pratt, Liv Schreiber, Emma Stone, Jason Sudeikis, Uma Thurman, Naomi Watts, Kate Winslet, Josh Duhamel. Gosh, who's the Jeremy White? Yeah, I think I mentioned him. And it's one of the worst movies of all time.
Yeah, it's awful. I remember when I saw the cast list and everything. It's like, oh, this is like an all-star cast here. This should be amazing, and it was not amazing.
I will say this: I no longer listen to Rotten Tomatoes, and I'll tell you why. Because Joe Dirt 2 is rated higher than Joe Dirt 1.
I never saw Joe Dirt 2. I wouldn't. I'm very scared of Happy Gilmore 2. Like,
I went and watched the original in theaters the other day.
I saw we watched the original not too long. We watched Superbad, Wedding Crashers, and Grandma's Boy in the past couple of nights. Just
I wonder how Grandma's Boy aged. How was that?
It wasn't bad. Like I don't think these things age that badly, honestly. Like honestly, Superbad feels like it ages worse than
Really?
Grandma's Boy. Yeah. It's like watching Superbad and like the stuff they're saying. It's like, oh, couldn't get away with that. Now
I think Waiting was the one that I watched fairly recently, and I was like, that one aged probably the poorest of all of them. Step Brothers isn't as funny to me anymore, but like I remember how funny it was at the time.
It's the goat. Yeah.
What is it?
It's the goat.
Oh yes.
So that's the whole premise of the movie.
Oh man. Well, see you guys later. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Cyclops is better than Wolverine, saying the homeschool part of the movie was the best. I assume, is this movie 43 or is this from one of the other three that you talked about?
If it's movie 43, I have no recollection of what actually happened in that movie. So I just remember, I'm not even sure I finished it. Like it was so terrible. I'm not even sure like I made it all the way through. I was like, I can't. Talladega Nights is a classic.
Yeah. If you don't chew Big Red,
fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Happy Gilmore too, because Happy Gilmore is like one of my favorite comedies, and it's just tough to recapture that. Like I'm glad they have like largely the same cast and everything, but especially nowadays with being able to get away with less, it feels like it's going to be tougher than that. Like what's like a good comedy that's come out in the last however many years? Because I don't watch a ton of like new movies. That's the thing, is if we're watching a movie, it's probably something we've seen before, and nothing nothing like, oh, what's this new film that's out there? I don't know. Has anybody seen any good comedies over the last like 5 to 10 years that you can recommend that I probably will never watch?
I see Ryan saying, Step Brothers is boring, not a Will Ferrell fan. And I'm like, there was one movie that he did. I had to look it up. It was Stranger Than Fiction. I remember watching that and being like, this is the anti-Will Ferrell movie, but it's also very good. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, it's been a while. I watched it when it first came out. That's kind of like his Punch Drunk Love. Remember, yes. Adam Sandler did that, and yeah, it wasn't like a comedy, and people are like, oh shit, Adam Sandler can kind of act. And then Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems is a fantastic film where he should have won many awards for that, but they're cowards.
They are. Anyway, go watch the review and tell Alex he's wrong about the best movie ever, Hot Rod.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Alex doesn't like that. Honestly,
I'm really not.
All right.
Alex kind of does want movies in a box. By the way it sounds, he wants things to be perfectly set in cinema. The way that wrestling isn't. You know how some people want their entertainment to be completely different from their work. He is. He seems like one of those people.
I don't know if people have seen it, but there's this like Jennifer Lawrence movie that was like old, like straight up comedy that people said was good, but I haven't seen it. I don't think that's the one where she does like a suplex and she's just nude while doing it.
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing.
but maybe that is the same movie. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
No Hard Feelings. Yeah, is that where?
I think that's the one with the
suplex. Okay, all right. People have said that's like a good like old school type comedy. Old School. There's a movie. Yeah. Okay. Same movie. All right. My bad then. Old School. There's a movie I haven't seen in forever. Should rewatch.
Go ahead. Do it. Watch it right now.
Yeah. I watched Grandma's Boy last night, and that's still Kevin Nash is in that movie. So.
He is. I can't remember the last time I sat through a movie. It's been a long time. Oh no, the Super Mario movie. That was the last time I did. In the theater, no less.
All right.
And I do it again. You want to change your name to JC Mateo?
They went through with that, didn't they?
They did. That was not my first choice, but also we'll get over it. Not that we really have anything to get over in the first place. We'll get used to it is probably more like it. And they went right to it, called him Jeff Cobb, and then they're like, no, damn it, he's JC Mateo. And we're like, all right, that's his name now. Easy for us.
Yeah, I don't care about this name stuff. Like they renamed Walter Gunther.
If what I heard about they doing to Gunther to Walter, oh man.
Yeah, I just all right. JC Mateo is his name. Fine.
Jeffrey Cobb Mateo.
That's fine. Like, not a big deal to me. People will get mad about it, and then after a few weeks, they'll accept it. Be like, all right, sure, he's JC Mateo. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just be that. It's always that. Oh, we don't want change, and we don't like change. Therefore, we're gonna break the change. They did it with Mina, and they thought they could do it again with JC. Nope, they're not. You're not going to get WWE to blink on this one.
With who?
Just like with Mina with the theme music.
Oh,
AEW to break that. You're not going to get them to chase. You're going to make JC Mateo change his name. You're not going to get that. You have no option but to accept it.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Ricky. You know, he's Ricky Saints now, and people are just like, all right, sure, Ricky Saints. Like, this is what they do. It's what they enjoy doing. And again, you're gonna come around to it because they ain't budging on it. It's gonna be JC Mateo. So you either accept it or you could bitch about something that ain't gonna change. And that seems like a waste of time.
You know what they should do? Don't call him Jesus Christ Mateo. Call him Giancarlo Mateo.
Giancarlo starts his name with the.
Well, that one does, but this is Giancarlo Mateo.
Okay,
this is a different one.
All right.
This is a very different one. Tiffany Stratton retained over Nia Jax. All the WWE shows featured women's main events this week, and that wasn't shocking when they announced this was the main event. Felt like they were going to go for the trifecta, and it was a good match. It was good, minus the interference spots that they just had to do.
Yeah,
but they finally finished. Hopefully, the Tiffany Nia Jax story and just put that to bed. Tiffany wins clean, blasts Nia Jax with the chair at the end of the match. Felt a little bad for Nia on that one, but gets the win. Tiffany is still the women's champion.
It was a good match. Nia got split in that one, which looked like it sucked, but it seemed like she was okay, which was good. And yeah, it was good. I wasn't surprised that it was the main event. I'm over these 3-hour SmackDowns.
We're almost there. It's almost over.
I'll be happy when it's over. There's like the middle portion of stuff just drags so much, and it'll hopefully be better once they cut it back down to 2.
Yeah, it's become very long in the tooth, and I did not watch the entire show in one go. When they got to the second triple threat match with LA Knight, I was like, I'm going to tap out here. And I came back to the show the next day. That was fine. I saw what I wanted to see. I enjoyed the main event. DIY Fraxium was very good. Someone pointed that out in the chat. And the tag division's another one that's like, they're trying to rebuild it. They're going to do Street Profits and Fraxium next week on the show. So you can look forward to that type of tag match. I think Fraxium is a smartly added group to the tag division.
Yeah. And Julie is on SmackDown, just because her pairing with Roxanne Perez lasted all of like 2 weeks and made no sense to start with, and then they just decided to move in a different direction.
What do you make of hashtag bow down and box like structure girl becoming secret best friends?
Oh, it's gonna rule. Oh,
Doesn't it? We're there.
It's gonna be so good. They gotta win these women's tag team titles. Who are the champions? Liv and Raquel. They're gonna win them from Liv and Raquel, and it's gonna rule so much as these two holding the titles. Alexa's hilarious because she gets stuck with not stuck, but she gets paired with people you don't think makes a whole lot of sense for her, and then she makes it work. She's fantastic at that, and she's just really good as far as the character stuff and making things work. And Charlotte only knows how to do one thing so far, so Alexa might push her in a little uncomfortable ways when it comes to Charlotte, because Alexa ain't worried about, when we talked about Tiffany and, is Tiffany gonna step up and not be stepped all over by Charlotte? And she wasn't. She fired back in that one promo, and I know people felt how they felt, but it was probably a necessary thing for Tiffany to do. Alexa ain't worried about that. I don't have any doubts that Alexa will, not that they're going against each other in these promo segments or anything, but just the snarky kind of stuff of tag team partners who, like you and I, Joel, we kind of like each other every now and again. It's a love-hate relationship. You love me, I hate you.
Well,
but that's what Alexa can do. She's not going to be afraid to make a offhand sarcastic remark to try to get something out of Charlotte. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Is this all in service of teaming them up? Charlotte turns on Alexa Bliss, and that brings back the Wyatts. And now it's Charlotte against new leader Alexa Bliss, and the Wyatts are there. But Charlotte doesn't have friends. That's the one thing. I don't know how they make this work, because it feels like eventually Charlotte's going to hit her, not even rock bottom, but just something's gonna happen that she's gonna suddenly need a friend, and Bliss will come out and blah blah blah. But then Charlotte's gonna get pissed off, and then it'll start the story between those two.
That's fine. I don't care how you get there. I'm just picturing Charlotte Flair having to act with the Wyatts. Imagine the Randy Orton stuff from way back in the day, right? When Randy was going to so did the Fun House, but going to Sister Abigail and burning down the house, and he had to do the secret chamber of horrors, whatever they called that dumb match, and they did the maggots on the ring match, which ruled. Imagine Randy Orton doing that kind of stuff back in the day, but it's Charlotte Flair now doing this shit. Oh, that's going to be so good. She was a serial killer. She played a serial killer in a movie that might never see the light of day. So
that might be why. Her acting might be the reason why. We don't know.
I'm not gonna put that out there.
I'm just putting it out there. That's fine.
Imagine Charlotte in that Randy Orton role. Imagine how goofy Randy Orton was and all of that stuff. But now we're gonna see Charlotte do it. Oh, it's going to be so good. Yes, we need Charlotte interacting with the Wyatts and doing this horror stuff. Because again, Alexa's someone that just makes shit work. She was good as the second to Bray and everything. She commits to that stuff. That's one thing you'll never say about Alexa, that she commits to that stuff. Charlotte, I don't know if Charlotte's going to commit to this, but I want to see it. I want to see it just for the hilarity. Oh, they got to have a black goo match. 100%. Yeah, that's definitely something I would book in Ring of Hallucinations. Just
it'd be a Crown of Thorns match, but the black goo comes down on the winner of the.
You got to put the crown
Oh,
their
yeah,
head,
you have to crown
and
them.
then they get gooed. And then not only do they get gooed like that, the goo drops from the ceiling as well. So you get double gooed.
Dude, just good.
Double gooed is what you get. Oh hell yeah, Charlotte Flair and a Mountain Dew Baja Blast match. I had one of those at the metal concert. That was my first time having the Baja Blast. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was
Tell Alex Zane about your experience.
okay. It was just, it tasted like I don't know, like a Mountain Dew to me. I wasn't
tasted like gamers and sadness.
like it was fine. Like I guess it had just a little more like fruity flavor to it. It's been forever since I had a Mountain Dew. Like, but at the concert, I wanted a soda. The only thing they had was Pepsi, and I don't support CM Punk like that.
Wow.
They only had like Pepsi and Mountain Dew. I was like, it's been a while since I had Mountain Dew. I have a Mountain Dew. And then like this lady was looking at in like 3 different coolers for a Mountain Dew, and she could not find one. And it was taking her like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't care that much about this Mountain Dew to where it needs to take you 5 minutes to find it. I was like, I'll just take a Pepsi. Like, it's fine. And she's like, oh, we have a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I was like, great. Hand me that. I'm just very thirsty right now. Please just give me that. So that's my Mountain Dew Baja Blast story of how I lost my how I got Baja blasted for virginity.
Jesus Christ. Did I show you the cooler from WWE World? That was probably what I would ask for in my rider.
I think so, but
not my
do
Zach.
you have a picture?
Yeah. I'm gonna get the photo here.
Yeah, I think you posted it in our chat or whatever.
Yeah, I think I did. This was basically what my entire rider looks like. For any event that I do, I need not one, I need 2 coolers filled with a mixture of both Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke, and then for some reason, cans, not bottles, cans of Gatorade.
Oh, is that what that is? Gatorade?
That was Gatorade. Yeah, that confused the hell out of me. Oh, and if you're looking closely, oh no, never mind. I thought that was a bottle of water. Maybe a bottle of water.
Water.
There's no water there.
Yeah, it looks like it's just a reflection, not an actual bottle of water.
Yeah, that's all it is. Reflection.
I can confirm. That's what Joel's fridge looks like.
I mean, you should see the floor, but anyway.
You just open up his fridge and it's just nothing but Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke because Joel doesn't support one company.
It's true. I support whatever's on sale that week.
Yeah.
This week they're both on sale, so I can pick whichever one I want.
Oh, look at you. You should get both.
I have been getting both.
Okay.
Every time I've had to go to the store, I've just picked up an extra 6-pack because I'm like, you know what? I'm here. May as well get this out of the way. Speaking of getting out of the way, R-Truth and John Cena are going to have their match, not for a championship as of right now. What do you think about R-Truth?
Why isn't it
serious? R-Truth.
Why isn't it for a title? Just put the title on the line.
Because then you can have you can have one conversation or the other. The why are we doing this conversation, or the why is R-Truth getting a title shot conversation. Whichever one you want to have, it leads down the same path. What is the point of this? And now Truth is trying to make it at least somewhat relatable to his like John Cena fandom bit, but like it's not much better. It's just there. Zeno I was saying Cody's going to save R-Truth. That's a possibility. It's just this. People were trying to figure out like when is this match happening on the card. I think this is the opening contest. I think this is the first match because again, Saturday night's main event. I remind everyone the first match is the main event. The rest of the match, the rest of the show are just a bunch of matches that they needed because the ratings would dip.
No, they didn't do that last time though. They closed with Cody and Kevin. But
also it was a terrible card otherwise.
Okay, but they closed. This ain't like the greatest card in the world. No,
it's pretty good. I think it's stronger than the last one.
But regardless, they closed with Cody and Kevin. They didn't open with Cody and Kevin. I don't think they're opening with the main event per se. I could see this opening, but it's not because they consider this the main event, it's because they actually consider Logan Paul and Jey Uso the main event. But if Cody's returning, this is the main event. I just don't know if Cody's returning here. Honestly, I'm not sure.
They're going to be in that venue for 4 nights, so Cody can just set up a cot and a tent and his bus.
Yeah, he's got a bus. What's he need to? What if he has like a cot and a tent like outside the bus?
Yeah, why not?
Just like sleeping in the bus,
Yeah. Sorry, back to the King of the Luchadors talk. Lucha Blog just retweeted the announcement of the trademark and said WWE is going to be very surprised to find out they actually bought a promotion that determines the King of the Luchadors every year.
Maybe that's how they trademarked it. They were like, now we have trademarked to this.
Yeah, well, they're the Rey de Reyes every year. Anyway, so Cena Truth. That's a match that's happening, not for a title. Maybe Cena will come back and be like, I want this to be for my title. Show you that what a real champion fight's like.
Like, I'm fine that it's non-title because R-Truth hasn't won anything to like deserve a match. But the bigger conversation is like, we're really doing this match. Like, this is a thing we are doing. Okay, sure.
It'll be a 5-minute match.
Yeah.
John Cena will do his moves, or at one point, R-Truth will do Cena's moves, and that'll piss Cena off, and he'll go off on R-Truth. Maybe it'll end in a DQ because Cena goes too hard on R-Truth after it beats him down in a rage, and then Cody makes the save.
I'm in a rage, and I want him in a cage.
No, that's the other match on the card. That's the Drew McIntyre. And
this should have been a stretcher match, right?
This should have been a stretcher match. Thank you. You should have put Briscoe and Ricochet in a cage, and then you should have done a stretcher match. The other two.
They just did a cage match.
They didn't do a good one though.
What do you mean? Did they?
I
Watch the product.
I thought you meant something with Ricochet and or Mark Briscoe involved, but no, you were alluding to the world title match. No, you do it the other way around. Give Briscoe and Ricochet the cage, and give Priest and McIntyre the stretcher match. Yeah, do the DQ and Truth gets a title match, but it's the first 2-hour SmackDown, the first episode that goes back to 2 hours. That should be the answer right there. Anyway. Anything else from SmackDown that you want to get into? Was there anything?
SmackDown was 8 days ago. I can't remember what happened on this show.
Felt like a long time ago. That's all I got. Like, those are the main things. Was the JC Mateo, the Tiffany, and the R-Truth and Cena having their thing announced, and the Truth segments. It was fine. It's not for me. It's not for you. Some people are excited. We talked about Bliss and Charlotte. That was also on the docket. So we got there. Yeah, Alexa Bliss is in Money in the Bank. So good for her. I'm sure other people will also qualify.
I do draw the line at Cena and R-Truth. I 100% do.
That's what really gets you, hey?
I just think like it's John Cena's heel turn, man, and you have him just doing matches against R-Truth.
Ruining wrestling.
He should just not show up. I know he's got appearances. He should just not do matches at these appearances. He just shows up and he waves to the crowd and then he just leaves. And that's his whole appearance.
Does a little bow and then turns around, goes back to the backstage. I'm fine with it.
That's the appearance. Like, all right, I'm done. There you go. 23 appearances left. That's it. Why is he?
It just counts down every time he leaves the ring.
Yeah, I love that they did that gimmick after WrestleMania where they had like the countdown bit. We do on Fightful after every appearance. We do the post like John Cena has 23 appearances. Like every time we count down with a new post just because it's funny. It's if you want to know how many appearances does John Cena have left, like we got you covered. All that. So
Henry's saying he should wear the countdown shirts.
Yeah, he gets a new shirt every single time, so like that's fine. I'm for that.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Listen, people in the chat are saying they liked parts of SmackDown, and so did I. Like there were, again, as a cohesive 3-hour show, it is not. But in chunks, I think SmackDown is still pretty good, especially in ring, because guess what? The wrestlers know how to wrestle. for the most part. I mean, there's a couple things we just like. Anyway,
No, it was one of the better 3-hour shows. It's just
still
3
3
hours is just like it's too long for a weekly show. Like 2 to 2.5. I'm fine with. That's what most shows are. NXT's got it right. They're in 2 hours on the dot because they're on network. So it's like we got to get out to air the news, the local CW news. But yeah, 3 hours. Just oh man, I don't need that much wrestling.
I believe this is Fyter Fest on June the 4th.
What's Fyter Fest? Oh,
The 4-hour block.
yeah.
I believe it's 4 hours on June the 4th. Fyter Fest from Denver. Hell of a way to celebrate the week of my birthday. By the way, my birthday is June 1st. Don't forget.
Nah, who cares? Yeah, it's that, and then there's one the week after too, right? Summer Blockbuster.
Summer Blockbuster from Portland. Is that also a 4-hour?
Yeah, that's a 4-hour extravaganza as well.
Sure. The Theater of the Clouds, which is the perfect place to launch Ring of Hallucinations.
So I will say, when it comes to that, AEW in the past, when they've done like 3-hour blocks, they do a good job of like making the shows feel different. And that's what the hope is for the Dynamite and the Collision. The problem is some of the Collision shows, like if Collision's on second, you're going to have a tough time having people stick around if you're putting shit like Sons of Texas and Crew and Wheeler Yuta and Powerhouse Hobbs in that final hour. Like, no one wants to stick around till a midnight show and watch that in the main event after we've already seen a cage match between Jon Moxley and Samoa Joe. I think that's where they're gonna have to figure out like what's important and just structuring the show and making sure you have enough good stuff in the final hour to keep people around.
You know why else the Rampage crossover was cool? Because it was 3 hours and not 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% true. Like it was not as long of a show. So
and I sat through that live, by the way. I sat through that first one live. They did it in Toronto. And it was actually like a fun show to sit through. But yes, it's not looking forward to a 4-hour. It's pay-per-view. And I hope they set up a pay-per-view caliber show. Because if we're going to do 4 hours, it's going to be a long time.
Back to back 4 hours too. Like back to back weeks, I'm saying.
Chat's saying that it's only the 1 week, but I feel like it's those 2 weeks.
I thought there was one that was not 4 hours and people thought it was a 4-hour block. I think Dynamite Beach Break was it. People thought that was a 4-hour block, and then it turned out it wasn't a 4-hour block.
Fyter Fest is a 4-hour block. Dynamite will air at 8 p.m. and then Collision will air immediately on TNT. And it'll all be simulcast on Max as a full 4-hour special. So Fyter Fest is for sure that.
I'm pretty sure Summer Blockbuster is as well. I think people might be confusing that Dynamite Beach Break because that wasn't a 4-hour block when people thought it was going to be. But I think that Blockbuster is a 4-hour block as well.
Summer Blockbuster is also a 4-hour TV special.
Yeah.
So both shows, yeah, it is 2 4-hour blocks back to back.
Sure. Too much wrestling.
I'll watch 2 hours and then I'll watch the other 2 hours. And that'll be that.
Too much wrestling. Stop it. Stop all wrestling.
I agree. Turn off the wrestling. WWE RAW tonight in Greenville, South Carolina. You can watch it on Netflix at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena.
Is that how you're saying that?
Yes. Well, it is French. Bon Secours is the word. Anyway, there are some things actually announced for the show. Logan Paul, who thinks that people said that he should have been fired, is going to be on the show. That's a thing that he said recently. That sure nobody said that.
No, I don't want to like defend Logan Paul,
How
but
dare you?
I'm sure there were people who were like, why does Logan Paul still have a job? But they released Dakota Kai and Braun Strowman. Like, why is Logan Paul? Like, I'm sure people
have a 16th birthday every day. I get it.
I'm sure there were people who said that. So
no one important was saying it is really what we're getting at.
well,
here.
obviously no one in like the company was saying that, but there were probably plenty of fans online saying that.
Yeah, people are dumb. That's not even in defense of Logan Paul. That's just in defense of people thinking. Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker is a match that'll happen tonight on WWE Raw. Sheamus and Grayson Waller. And then you've got AJ Styles and Penta teaming up to take on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD Big Head, and Money in the Bank qualifying matches. What are those qualifying matches? Have they announced anything, or are we waiting until 2 p.m. again?
Yeah, they're gonna announce some triple threat matches because
fucking Paul. Just
you know what the qualifying matches should be? It should be step ladder matches. So like they hang the briefcase, like a mini briefcase, but you have to climb the step ladder to get it. And that's how you get into the bigger Money in the Bank match. So you're climbing the ladder to get to the ladder to get to the ladder. Like that, I feel like that's a way better use than these triple threat matches. Come up with something original. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair, but it's just not what I would do.
What would you do?
Nothing. I would just not have the matches.
What's in the briefcase is what's in this briefcase is a contract to. It's like a golden ticket. Oh, you are now in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and you have to present that to. It's like King of the Mountain. You have to present that ticket to climb the ladder at the Money in the Bank ladder match. There's like a keeper of the ladders at Money in the Bank, and you got to present your golden ticket to them to get one of the ladders. You can only use your ladder though. If you climb somebody else's ladder, nope, you can't win that way. You have to climb your ladder.
Hot take: best Money in the Bank ever. 2020 on top of WWE's Titan Towers.
Oh, yeah, that rolled, but I mean they're not going to do that again.
No, remember when Rey Mysterio dove off the top of the building, and so did Aleister Black.
Yeah,
and they survived, both of them, and now they're both working in WWE. Anyway, that's all that's going on tonight for Raw. There's a good amount of stuff. It should be a fun episode. It'll be done within a certain amount of time, just like we are.
No basketball tonight. No, there's only just like baseball tonight. So
no hockey tonight either.
Yeah, I don't watch that sport.
Right? When do the next things start? May 20th. So we got a couple days. We
have literally one, Joel.
Tomorrow's
May 20th.
Today is the 19th. I gotta remember today is May 19th.
The Thunder play tomorrow. We're in the conference finals. Good luck to us, I guess. I don't know. Sure. I like this, Louis. One ladder, everyone has a rung, and you have to beat everyone for the rung and build the ladder. Hell yeah. Now we're thinking the 5 tools would kill in these ladder matches.
And Jericho would take all the credit in the end. That's right.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
5 Tool Appreciation Society.
It's just the 5 tools. Chris Jericho and the 5 tools.
That's also the name of his band. Anyway, Jeremy, anything to plug before we get on out of here?
Matt Mako scheduled for tomorrow. He's going to be facing Lee Moriarty for the ROH Peer title, the Tony Khan's version, not mine. This Saturday at Action Dean. Yeah, at Action Dean. I don't remember when the AEW pay-per-view was. It was such a busy weekend. Oh my gosh. I hate it already. Yeah. So Matt Mako's facing Lee Moriarty. He was just on ROH TV facing Wheeler Yuta. We'll ask him if he's ever smoked peyote with Wheeler Yuta in the desert.
Yeah, that's a question you want to ask for sure. Totally.
We're going to get in trouble again.
With whom? Mako's not signed to anybody's contract. You're good.
Yeah. And I think that's everything.
Wonderful. SB3 and Jeremy are back tomorrow. To the Canadians out there, happy Victoria Day. Hope you're enjoying your Monday off. I'm going to go spend it with my family.
Why do you guys get a Monday off? What happened?
We're part of a country that is part of a monarchy, so we get the long weekend. Normally it matches up with Memorial Day, but for some reason kind of got split off by a week this year, because my wife and I were talking about how the US has Memorial Day, and I was like, that's double or nothing weekend, and that's next weekend. She looked at me funny, and I was like, I know, don't ask why wrestling suddenly tells me what American company or what American holidays are coming up, but that's how we do it. We'll be back.
I always get Memorial Day and Labor Day confused, no matter what.
Labor Day's in the fall. It's always the back to school. Memorial Day is the end of the school year.
Sure. It's all the same to me. It's all
I hear
dumb
you.
holidays. I don't get them off, so what do I care?
I mean, you could if you just asked for them or took them off.
That's probably
Soon.
not happening.
You're almost there. You're almost there. We're almost at that point where you can do it. You've almost accrued enough time.
Nah.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, SB3 Jeremy, you're here to talk about whatever, whenever. Watch the wrestling or don't. I don't. Go have a good day. What?
Oh, that's Orange Cassidy. I was like, cause whatever, wherever, whenever.
Oh yeah,
I miss Orange Cassidy.
Me too.
He's the ace of Ring of Hallucinations. Orange Cassidy.
Co-booker, co-manager, co-title holder.
No. I don't. Nobody. I'm not sharing booking duties with anybody.
Some people are going to be upset about that.
Well, I refuse to do that.
That's fine.
They're all my ideas, but I will listen to the talent and I will hear them out as long as they can't pass a drug test.
Cannot, by the way, is the word he used.
Yes.
All right. You know who he is. You know who I am. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you tomorrow.